Hello. Howdy. It's been a fat minute, huh? Yeah. Let me turn this down a little bit. Advanced audio properties. Hello? It's still a little high, isn't it? It's fine. Um. Alright. Hello? Yep. Alright, that looks like a good range. Hello. Hopefully y'all doing good. Let's just get rid of keep this open. Boy, oh boy, it's been fun. When was the last time I streamed? Oh, 12 days ago. Yeah. So if some of you may not have known, I was on vacation. So that was fun. But I went to Vegas. It was pretty fun. I was there with my friend, my wife, my friend, and his fiance. We were there for a couple days. It was first time I've been to Vegas, I guess, as an adult, officially, But I've been there plenty of times in the past. So I'm not like, I guess, it's not like something I'm new to, but whatever. Okay, let's pull this up. Of course, I had to gamble while I was there because that's just the tradition. It was pretty good, but didn't lose all the money, which is obviously could have been worse. Well, of course. Yeah. So before I left, um, oh boy, I was following the news on Twitter while I was gone, but I was not like super closely. Before I left, I had done a stream where I talked about Matt Walsh and Target. It wasn't in the title, but it was the last stream that I did. And it seems as though it has only gotten worse. The hysteria with Target. See if I can find it. Yeah, check it out. Hold up. Okay, that's my face. And here we go. Wow, whoa, what? Hold up. What? Okay, that was weird. Bomb threat. Well, hold on. Shit. Dude, I hate these websites, by the way. Bomb threats made against Target stores in Utah, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Wow, close to home. So, I guess there's some anger by some people to such a extent that there are bomb threats being made. This has happened time and time again whenever we are discussing whenever we're discussing like culture war shit specifically related to like pride or trans people or anything like that. Because there was the Boston Children's Hospital. I don't remember how long ago this was, but there was a Boston Children's Hospital that received bomb threats after Libs of TikTok had made false claims that they were conducting hysterectomies on girls. So that's nice. Police are investigating bomb threats made against Target stores in 3 states after being alerted by local media outlets. They received emails referencing retail chain's decision to remove or relocate. So this is after that happened. Can you believe it? Okay, this is annoying. There. Okay. I might have to fix that later. Okay. Yeah, Target is full of cowards who turned their back on the LGBT community and decided to cater to the homophobic right-wing redneck bigots. True. Who protested and vandalized their store. So it should be noticed, or it should be noted that the the people who are like making these threats or who are outraged by Target over the Pride area or over the Pride section are people who wouldn't be shopping there in the first place. They are people who have been radicalized through, propaganda and online right-wing pundits, and have only really recognized Target insofar as they provide these sections specifically for Pride. These aren't prospective customers. These are people who are crazy. So bending the knee to these people seems like more of an attempt to ameliorate the risk of property damage or harm to their employees or something like that. I would guess. Officers will continue neighborhood patrols around the target locations in Salt Lake City out of an abundance of caution. Yeah, we encourage anyone who sees anything suspicious, call 911. The bomb threats are made at Target stores in Layton, Salt Lake, Taylorsville. He said officers began the investigation at 2 local stations, received emails alerting them to threats. The threats mentioned Target's Pride merchandise. Okay. Target has been hit with controversy backlash for merchandise it carries to promote Pride Month. Target's website carries hundreds of Pride products, including t-shirts, books. Yep. After critics posted videos of people attacking LGBTQ Pride displays and confronting employees in Target stores, the company held emergency meetings to decide to remove and relocate some Pride merchandise. Yeah. That's amazing, honestly. We live in such an accepting and safe society where the presence of Pride memorabilia and clothing is enough to solicit such a strong reaction to where people are getting yelled at and damage is being done unto the merchandise itself. All because it's literally just Pride. Like, imagine, dude, can you imagine hating gay and trans people so much that you get this offended and go out of your way to a Target store to harass the employees? It's almost insane to me, dude. I have more important shit to do, you know? My day-to-day life is a lot more filled, or it's rather preoccupied with important shit I have to do. That's why I only stream twice a week. I don't have this time for this shit. Conservatives also seized on Target's... Wait, what's this? At issue was misinformation spread about tuck-friendly swimsuits that allow trans women who have not had gender-affirming operations to conceal male genitalia. Some social media accounts falsely claimed the swimsuits were being sold in children's sizes. Okay. Conservatives also seized on Target's partnership with, I don't know this company, which they claim features Satanist designs. Yo, what is this company, by the way? Fuck. Well, they're in the news for unfortunate reasons. Satanism. Okay, so I'm supposedly exposed to Satanism here. What is this? This seems like a, what is this company, by the way? Satan respects pronouns. I could see why this would trigger some people. I mean, personally, I'm not offended, but I'm sure others who are deep in the fucking Kool-Aid are. I don't see the flag. Okay, whatever. So it's just trans-friendly shit. Got it. Target sells Adpralin sweatshirt with a snake that says "Cure transphobia, not trans people." Hundreds of bills targeting LGBTQ people, particularly transgender people, have been introduced. Yep. Yep. Prominent figures in GOP, such as DeSantis, who is campaigning for a Republican presidential nomination, has elevated divisive issues such as gender transition. Gavin Newsom, a Democrat, criticized Target CEO Brian Cornell, accusing him of selling out the... Okay. Dude, no, fuck this shit, man. Like, what a joke society we live in. Fuck. Like, if you're the CEO of Target, like, honest to God, what are you gonna, like... I think just moving the memorabilia to a part that's less visible is probably a fine compromise. Because, like, if you are going to make a ruckus in Target, then, like, you have to traverse the entire store to get to where you're, like, gonna, I guess, destroy the shit. And then, like, people are looking at you like you're insane, rightfully so. And, like, it just takes longer to get to that place and then get out of the store. Yeah, I don't fucking know. But, like, I don't see... It's not selling out, though. I wouldn't go that far. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway. At least 9 Target stores received fake bomb threats. True. Dude, there's bomb threats all the fucking time, I think. Oh, man. Okay, well, with that out of the way, I mean, like, I don't really know what to add to this. It's just, like, it's just like any other Tuesday, basically. There's bomb threats because a company sells pride shit. Alright, what's going on here? Twitter canceled a deal with the Daily Wire to premiere What is a Woman for free on the platform because 2 instances of misgendering. Let's find out what happened. This is one of the producers of that documentary, I think. 1 year ago, we released What is a Woman. To celebrate the occasion and expand the movie's already enormous impact, we decided to give it away for free for 24 hours on Twitter. With Twitter's recent commitments to free speech, we thought it would be the perfect place to distribute the film and drive the conversation forward on one of the most important topics of our day. It is a very, I don't know under what like criteria we're using to measure what isn't important. Talking about who is and isn't a woman seems pretty low on my give a fuck list, personally. I can't speak for everybody. Personally, I couldn't give less of a fuck. If you think you're a girl or a chick or whatever, then cool. Like, I said this before, but like I have more important shit to worry about than who isn't trans. Twitter responded with enthusiasm and offered us the opportunity to buy a package to host the movie on a dedicated... Buy a package to host that movie on a dedicated event page and to promote that event to every Twitter user over the first 10 hours. We accepted and signed an agreement. After we signed, Twitter asked to see the film to better understand the parts that may trigger users so they can better prepare their responses. They said they were still all hands on deck for launch, so we sent them a screener. Let me zoom in because I'm seeing you guys can't see it. Shit. A little bit. After reviewing the film, though, Twitter let us know that not only could we no longer purchase the package they offered, they would no longer provide us any support and would actually limit the reach of the film and label it as hateful conduct because of misgender. So this seems as though it seems like they evaluated the merits of the film or the contents of the film and decided that its contents were like against TOS to some extent, and this therefore resulted in them having to limit or label it as like hateful conduct. Wow, because of the misgendering. Which I mean, that could be the case depending on in what context the misgendering took place. Specifically, in the film, a father refers to his 14-year-old daughter as her. And a store owner uses the wrong pronoun in confrontation with the trans. Yeah, that probably is triggering for some people, right? We reminded Twitter they removed misgendering from their policy. The term misgendering itself is misleading, and that wait, what is he talking about? What is he saying? I don't understand. Wait. From their policy that the term we reminded Twitter they removed misgendering from their policy. Okay? That the term misgendering itself is misleading, and that enforcing such a policy places them on the side of the most radical of what? Respecting one's pronouns is not radical. In society, the side most opposed to their commitment to free speech. Twitter clarified that they only removed misgendering from their policy because they didn't need to be that specific, but that they still consider misgendering abuse and harassment. They gave us the opportunity to edit the film to comply. Oh, God. Okay. When we asked how much they would limit the visibility if they posted the film anyway, Twitter replied that our own followers would not be able to see it in their feeds. That seems unreasonable to me. This is a part of the speech not reach policy. Okay, so... Okay, wait, that does make sense. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm just, like, reading this, like, for the first time, so... Of course, saying you have the right to speak, but we'll make sure no one hears you is a bit like saying you have the right to cast a vote, but we'll make sure it isn't counted. Those are not the same things. A vote is either counted or not counted. You having the right to say something, but limiting that reach is different, because people could still see your shit if they look it up, and to some extent it does navigate through the algorithm, but it gets deboosted or deprioritized. So in one circumstance, it's binary. In another circumstance, it's just deprioritized. It's still existing on the platform, on the servers. It's just not prioritized through the algorithm on account of its hateful content. These are not comparable analogies. We brought all our shows to Twitter Tuesday because we believed Twitter was committed to free speech, especially on this issue. After all, the Babylon Bee was silenced on Twitter after this very issue. The other tech platforms have already decided where they stand in the trans debate and demonetize and deprioritize all those who disagree, as they have the right to because they're a private company. Now, Twitter has joined the ranks of other such tech superpowers in ensuring one side of the debate is suppressed. Wait. And literally and he's coming to this conclusion based upon the fact that What is a Woman, the documentary he financially benefited from, was deprioritized on account of its hateful content, specifically transphobia. It's not beholden to conservatives. He has the right to run his business as he sees fit, but if Twitter is going to throttle one side of the most important debates, it cannot claim to be a champion of free speech. I hope Elon will reconsider his awful policy. If we can't debate these issues on Twitter, where can we debate them? You could certainly debate them. You can debate them, but there's a difference between debating issues and, like, being transphobic. Unfortunately, the side by which many conservatives are on is inherently transphobic. If conservatives aren't welcome on Twitter, where are they welcome? I hope you guys aren't welcomed anywhere, TBH. I hope you die in obscurity. Obviously, this is bullshit because there's fucking Parler, there's Gab, there's Kiwi forums to some extent. Like, there's a bunch of different websites you can, like... There's 4chan, yeah, there's, like, a bunch of fucking forums you can participate on and be transphobic with, you know, like... It's unlikely another centibillionaire will come along to offer an alternative. Great. We plan to post the movie anyway tonight. Will Twitter make good on their threat to throttle it and label it hateful content, or will it live up to its great promise? So Elon responded, and he said that this was a mistake by the people at Twitter. It's definitely allowed. Whether or not you agree with using somebody's preferred pronouns, not doing so is at most rude and certainly breaks no laws. I should note that I do personally use someone's preferred pronouns just as I use somebody's preferred name simply from a standpoint of good manners. However, for the same reason, I object to rude behavior, ostracism, or threats of violence if the wrong pronoun or name is used. So, this is a weird response because, like, it doesn't really address the shit that he is saying. He's just giving his own personal opinion about the usage of pronouns. The only time in which he addresses this is just in this first statement. But this guy replied, I appreciate your reply. I posted 2 clips flagged by Twitter, and they were indeed labeled hate content. We are trying to reach your team to determine what is... I don't give a shit about this. Alright, what else? What else we got? There's another thing here. Yeah, right here. Matt Walsh is, understandably upset, I guess. We are streaming What is a Woman for free. On Twitter tonight, despite signing an agreement with us, Twitter now says they will label the film hate speech. Dude, these guys are just fucking pussies, dude. Jesus. All they do is fucking whine. This is a gross betrayal of free speech. Do they not know what free speech, like, actually means? Twitter wants us to censor the film if we're going to post it. We will not do that. It will still stream tonight, uncensored at 8, no matter what. We'll find out Twitter's truly free speech platform or not. We are not putting the ball back in their court. Dude, these guys, I swear to God, like, this is, it's so fucking stupid. And I said this because I believe it to my core. Like, the fact that conservatives, like, the time in which they realize that Elon is a hypocrite on free speech is only when it involves censoring their transphobia, but not when Elon bent over and allowed Turkey, the government, to fuck him in the ass over censoring political opponents. I don't know if you remember this. I don't even want to pull it up. Basically, he was like, he let Turkey... Turkey said that they were going to restrict access to Twitter if Elon did not restrict the access of certain political opponents in Turkey. Incidentally, this request was made at the behest of the right-wing government or right-wing parties or affiliates, whomever, from Turkey. And he complied, interestingly enough, and made the most dumbass fucking argument, basically saying that if he had no choice. But, like, obviously this is a violation of free speech, and I believe in 2014, Twitter filed petitions for lawsuits against the government of Turkey, maybe, regarding the restriction of their platform in their country. So there was precedence already established with respect to, it's the same country too, a government restricting or withholding access for their citizens for Twitter. So, yeah. What the fuck is this? Oh yeah, I don't even know if I want to talk about this. Okay. Shit. Okay. Oh shit, what's going on now? When is Women's Streams tonight at 8 Eastern? Dude, he keeps tweeting the same thing! Should we watch it? Well, I won't even be on at that point. And I don't know if it's copyrighted either. Ooh! God, I got cramp in my stomach, shit. Elon says the decision to label the film as hate. They're so fucking mad. Oh my god. Oh, baby. They're being suppressed. They're always a fucking crybaby, like, victim. They're always a fucking victim. God almighty. He even pinned this shit to his profile. Oh, fuck me, dude. Meet the Twitter. Nobody should be inclined to trust anything Matt Taibbi said. Like, everything this man says is a fucking dumpster fire, or either it's either incorrect or completely devoid of any meaningful context. Oh, shit, man. Dude, I can't wait. Dude, they're like, are conservatives about to turn on Elon now because of his censorship of this film? Jesus. I mean, I hope so. Oh my, dude, he's schizo posting. The trans activists know they can't win in a fair fight. They suppress me, censor me, and deplatform me because they know their position is insane and can't be defended. If open discussion on this topic was allowed, their side would be crushed into oblivion in less than a week. Very sad. Like, he's actually going crazy right now. Trans ideology would virtually disappear if the other side of the argument was allowed. Wait, hold on. wait, hold up. Trans ideology would virtually disappear if the other side of the argument was allowed to speak openly and be heard without suppression or reprisal. You motherfuckers have the loudest fucking voice on this platform. Are you serious right now? Your shit gets signal boosted constantly. You guys have... Isn't this the same guy who was saying, like, making a fucking victory lap over their boycott of Bud Light, over their boycott of Target, over their like, are you guys really that like, it's like they play the victim when there is a minor obstacle in their way, and they play like, and then they play it up as though they are like the ones who are in the majority when they're doing their fucking boycotts or whatever. The ideology hides behind a fortress of censorship because it is easily destroyed out in the open. It's like no argument. He's just like mad. He's so mad. I wonder... Hold on. I don't think I've ever seen this guy this mad before. TBH. Are they making like a whole ass video? Whatever he is, he's probably like going insane right now. Oh shit, he actually... Oh,
today marks the beginning.
It took him 2 seconds to produce this video. No way, boy. Alright, let's hear it.
Beginning of what millions of Americans and all major corporations consider to be...
Sorry, hold on. I don't know why this is so loud for you guys. No, let's go to... Hopefully that's better. It should be. Audio-wise, it should be. Also, my mic should be good too. That's fine.
The single holiest month of the entire year.
We're good. All right. What's up, boy? What? You're mad that you're silenced. Okay.
Today marks the beginning of what millions of Americans and all major corporations consider to be the single holiest month of the entire year. It is Pride Month, of course, and as you've probably noticed, the observances are well underway. Maybe you've seen a bunch of pride flags everywhere. Maybe you've noticed all of the pride-themed advertisements. Maybe there's a pride parade marching down your street at this very moment, full of...
Dude, it's June fucking 1st. He's already crying. Dude, these guys, I swear to God, I think the one thing I don't look forward to the most during the year, right now, like, year to year, generally speaking, is June, for one reason and one reason only. Because these fuckers piss and shit themselves. Like fucking crazy. We're 1 day into the month, and he's already pissing and shitting himself that this is like every single person is like celebrating Pride. The month has just begun. It has just commenced. I don't even know what to say. Like, it's so funny.
Naked people exposing themselves to children. If you're in San Francisco...
Wait, what? Whoa, wait, hold up. What did he just say?
Exposing themselves to children. As you've probably noticed, the observances are well underway. Maybe you've seen a bunch of pride flags everywhere. Maybe you've noticed all of the pride-themed advertisements. Maybe there's a pride parade marching down your street at this very moment, full of naked people exposing themselves to children. If you're in...
Why is that where his mind went to? because like you could see when he went rambling on and on about pride, and like the synapses in his brain fired in a pattern that led him to think that pride people in like marching down the street would be naked and exposing themselves to children. Like, why was the children present in his mind? Like, okay. Alright, apparently I have to lower the volume on this too. Fuck. Hopefully that's good. That should be good. Yeah, that should be good. Actually, let's split the difference. Okay. Sorry about the camera, by the way. You know what? Let me go ahead. I don't even want to fuck with it, actually. Let's just move forward.
San Francisco, that's a year-round activity, of course. Whatever the case, Pride is here. And for decades, it used to be that Pride was just one day, sort of like a Transgender Day of Remembrance or the Intersex Awareness Day or Pansexual Pride Day, International Pronouns Day.
I mean, who cares? Like, I genuinely don't, honestly. I'm obviously an ally towards the trans and LGBTQ plus community, and June is cool, I guess, but I don't think about it like all day like you do, apparently. Like, it's just like a thing,
But now Pride is 4 weeks long.
Why is he mad about this? Who cares? Is there a reason why I should care? Genuinely speaking, like in my practical day-to-day life, should I give a shit about this?
Avoid it if you try. It's the literal celebration of one of the 7 deadly sins, and it's...
What? Dude, I'm not even 60 seconds into this video. Holy shit.
Simply can't be ignored. It's all encompassing. So
it is one of the deadly sins to have a rainbow in your profile pic.
Last year on June 1st, we decided to join in and mark the occasion. My documentary, What is a Woman, premiered at the Daily Wire 1 year ago today to start off Pride Month. It was a very deliberate choice by us to start the month with this film. For the film, my team and I, as you know, traveled all over the world asking that simple question in the title. Just a few years ago and throughout all of human history before that, the question would not have stumped a single person. If we had made a film called What is a Woman in the year 2010 and gone around asking this question, everybody would be very confused, but confused for a different reason, confused about why we're asking such an obvious question.
Trans people have existed for hundreds, tens of thousands of years. Maybe even hundreds of thousands, I don't know. Probably millions of years. I think trans people predate the existence of the human species.
Begin with. But we found that in 2022, it was a real mind twister. To be sure, some people, had no problem telling us what a woman is. The tribesmen we met in Kenya could answer the question easily, for example. So
wasn't that tribe that he interviewed, don't they, there's something about them that I don't remember. Were they, I don't know for sure, but, culturally around the world, in, more third world countries or places that, are poor or whatever, aren't they more socially conservative, reactionary? I'm pretty sure that's the case. I mean, it's not really surprising. I don't know. And plus, it depends. I didn't watch the documentary myself, but also if Matt Walsh framed the question or the context of the question in a manner that suggested progressives were introducing this crazy new idea about what women are, then I don't think it's really that unreasonable that they would have, I guess, given him the answer he wanted.
Could the Vietnam veteran in Washington State who runs his own store selling Star Wars memorabilia. But we found that the kind of people who celebrate Pride Month, the identity-obsessed members of Congress, the gender studies professors, the physicians who make a lot of money mutilating children and so on.
What? What's he talking about? Hold up.
But we found that the kind of people who celebrate Pride Month, the identity-obsessed members of Congress, the gender studies professors, the physicians.
Wait. I'm pretty sure more people... So, okay, I guess it depends on how you define celebrate, but, if you mean, attending parades and shit, I think, that's mostly people who are, probably themselves part of the community, or they're people who are friends with people who are part of the community who want to signal their support in some capacity. Obviously, that's not relegated simply to attending parades or whatever, but I don't. Okay.
Who make a lot of money mutilating children and so on.
And by the way, I don't think physicians make money through. First off, sex reassignment surgery. Oh god, do I have to go down this rabbit hole again? Sex reassignment surgery is largely restricted from those under the age of 18. In certain circumstances, there may be SRS recommended. It depends on the person, obviously, and whatever. Like, I think that there's a lot of mastectomies that, like, of the sex reassignment surgeries that do take place to those under the age of 18, most of which is mastectomies, I believe. I don't know for sure. But like, for the most part, like, there isn't really mutilation happening. I think most of the time it's just like they're prescribed puberty blockers, and then after X amount of years of puberty blockers, then they move forward with hormone replacement therapy if that is the right decision for them, right? You have to be on hormones for a couple of years before you're even allowed to get like sex reassignment surgery. I'm pretty sure that's the case. Definitely fact check me on that, but I'm pretty sure that's the case. Anyway, the main point here is that minors are largely restricted from getting SRS.
They could not give us an answer. In fact, they couldn't give us anything resembling an answer. They couldn't get close to an answer. They just started dissembling, and in many cases, they ran away, or they screamed at us, or both. These are the activists, the medical experts, who will tell you without hesitation that trans women are women. They'll have you fired from your job, ostracized for the rest of your life if you disagree with them. But they can't even define the word. What is a Woman was an international success because most people recognize how absurd this is. I mean, don't we have free speech in this country? Isn't this what the country was founded on? Isn't it?
Yeah. But at the same time, there's a difference between free speech and, being a bigot. I mean, you have the right to say transphobic shit, but I also have the right to respond.
At the basis.
Also, private companies are well within their own right to censor content that they deem either inappropriate or harmful to their platform.
For the First Amendment to our Constitution, what's the point of all that exactly if it can't protect us when we speak openly and honestly about whatever we want to talk about?
Notice the framing here, open and honestly. It's funny that he's like, I just want to have the debate. I just feel it's unfair that I'm being censored for telling the truth. Like, he's oscillating between these 2 points here. Like, on one hand, the more defensible point, he's saying, I just want to be able to have the debate. But on the more controversial point, and the point that he's kind of alluding to here, is I want to have the right to be transphobic on social media. There's a difference between having the debate and you speaking your truth. Because your truth, in a lot of circumstances, based on your timeline, Matt Walsh, is simply being hateful towards trans people.
And in particular, what's the point of all of that if we can't even ask a question about the most fundamental and immutable aspect of our identity?
Okay. I'm no software engineer. I'm not a very smart guy. Okay, but if I were to guess, I would probably say that you, Matt Walsh, and people who are adjacent to your ideology, you probably could ask the question, "What is a woman?" on Twitter. You probably could still do that. If I were to guess right now, I think you could do that.
Something that's embedded at the chromosomal level, which is our sex. This is
okay. Why is that relevant here?
Way beyond free speech. Okay, this is
wait, dude. Free speech. Oh God, I swear to God. Okay. Shit, I don't even know if I want to fucking get into this. Okay, so free speech doesn't necessarily exist in the way a lot of conservatives believe it does. You can't publish child pornography, for example. You can't violate TOS on a social media platform. They have their own specific terms of service that every user agrees to prior to creating an account or upon completion of creating an account. So free speech in this sense is a lot different from free speech at the legal end, right? Like First Amendment, whatever. The First Amendment specifically refers to preventing the government from abridging your freedom of speech, and even in that circumstance, there are some restrictions. So, like, I really think that like conservatives believe that free speech literally means I get to say anything I want. That's not always true because there is TOS, terms of service, that prevents you from, conducting specific, forms of speech, right? You can't be racist, or to a certain extent, you can't be. You can't use. You can't. I mean, there's very specific like TOS that different platforms use, but for the most part, I think most companies and social media platforms adhere to the intolerance is not acceptable principle. To varying extents, of course. There's some platforms that aren't like that, but yeah. So anyway, free speech in the eyes of a conservative, I really believe, is just like they think it literally means I get to say anything I want, including calling trans people the T word.
Attack not just on speech, but on the ability to speak basic, fundamental truth.
What is he talking about? The basic, fundamental truth. Notice how he's like framing this whole thing as though he is being silenced for telling the truth. Yeah, like I love how he oscillates between these two things. It's like I just want to have the platform to make these arguments and we can hash it out in the marketplace of ideas. But then at the same breath, in like the next breath, he's like, I'm being silenced for trying to speak the biological truth of reality, anointed by God himself. Like, it's like he's going between these 2 points.
In a country where speaking the truth, not your truth, but the truth, has somehow become a revolutionary act, it makes sense that What is a Woman became a revolutionary film and one of the most influential and one of the most talked about documentaries of the century.
I think the only people who really give a shit or know about this film is people who are who are in the echo chamber themselves on Twitter, on Daily Wire, or whatever. These are people who are hardcore on like the sippy train. They're really taking those sips of fucking far right juice.
We've screened the film all over the country. Every time we've gotten a massive response. We've shown it at colleges that don't allow dissent on this issue in the classroom. And since the release of the film, we've done even more to expose the damage that's being done by activists who deny the reality of biology, including at Vanderbilt Medical Center, where they abuse children for profit. Of course, we've seen.
Wait, what? Okay, I can't keep stopping every second.
All across the country.
There's too much dumb shit to go
over.
And
the film, we're proud to say, was a catalyst for a lot of that, helped to be a catalyst for a lot of that. But the incredible positive response to the film was met with fury and rage on the other side. The film has been banned from major big tech platforms.
All right, are we just going to cry? Like, we're 4 minutes in. Are we just going to cry about this? Are you going to get to Twitter and Elon in a minute?
Announced as hate speech, hated by these kinds of people.
Yes.
This past year under new management, for the first time, the owner of a major social media platform didn't just promise to respect the freedom of speech of all the users. He seemed to really mean it. Elon Musk lifted the previous regime's political bans on thousands of users, including the former president of the United States. Musk also, it seemed, eliminated Twitter's rules, which require that you respect the fake pronouns and gender identity.
Oh my God. Honest to God, it's not about freedom of speech. Don't fall for the bait here, because it's not really about free speech that is concerning to Matt Walsh. It's that his speech, his hateful speech, is being censored. That's what he cares about. He will disguise it as though it's just free speech. I just want to have the arguments or whatever. But then it's what it actually is just being a hateful bigot towards trans people.
Identities of other users. And Musk promised transparency in Twitter's algorithm so that people with unfavorable opinions wouldn't be shadow banned anymore. They wouldn't be suppressed.
Well, are you failing to mention the fact that early on, when he bought the platform, he said that hate speech will be deprioritized in the algorithm? you have freedom of reach, but not freedom of, or freedom of speech, but not freedom of reach, is what he said. So people who facilitate hateful content or rhetoric or what have you will have their shit deprioritized in the algorithm. This was established very early on when he took the reins of Twitter.
And it was for all those reasons this year that we reached out to Twitter about distributing What is a Woman on their platform for free, for all users. This is how we plan to mark the 1-year anniversary of the film. And it's how we wanted to ring in Pride Month 2023. We wanted to take the movie that LGBT cultists hate the most and put it out in its entirety for free on one of the most trafficked social media platforms on the planet. And we wanted to do it on the first day of Pride Month. That was the plan. Now, as the Daily Wire CEO Jeremy Boring wrote earlier today, Twitter was initially receptive to this idea. In fact, they were excited about it. They pledged to set up a custom landing page just for the film so that everybody could find it easily. This is something that we were happy to pay for. This is a privilege that we were going to pay Twitter for. Twitter signed an agreement to that effect. Then, after all that, they asked to review the film because they wanted to screen it for any content that might, quote, trigger users on its platform because they want.
Dude, they should. Okay, this is more on Twitter, I think, in this respect, because I think that Twitter should have screened the movie in the first place before having agreed to this contract, if the timeline is consistent and what Matt Walsh is telling us is true. Because if I were Twitter, I would probably want to screen I would probably want to screen the thing first before deciding whether or not I would want to make a whole custom page for their premiere event. Because agreeing to it, and now they're looking at it, and now determining it's hateful conduct or whatever, now shit is kind of fucked because you've already signed a contract with the Daily Wire or Matt Walsh, whoever.
Wanted to know, how they were going to respond if when the film proved to be controversial. Now, that was a giant red flag, obviously. Since when do free speech platforms talk about trigger warnings to begin with?
Wait, that's not mutually exclusive to be pro-free speech.
And indeed, after reviewing the film, as you might have seen, Twitter suddenly changed its mind, switched course. Instead of promising to promote the film, Twitter informed us that they would dramatically restrict its reach. They labeled it as a hateful content, and they were going to make it as hard as possible to find without outright banning it. So all the shadow bans that we heard about in the past under the old regime, and we were told the shadow bans were gone, we're now being told by Twitter that they will do that to this film when we post it.
So he's obviously leaving out the fact that Elon addressed this and said that if your posts or videos or what have you have hateful content in it, it will be deprioritized in the algorithm. This was established very early on when he took over Twitter.
Because it is hate speech, they said. They would ensure that it would not appear in people's feeds. The algorithm would crush it completely. We were told by Twitter that that is what they're going to do.
A bunch of hyperboles, using the word crush to make this sound even more destructive, and yeah.
Now, how could that be, we asked? What hateful content were they talking about exactly? What's the hateful part of the film? I mean, I made the movie, I'm in it. I don't remember any hateful content. Twitter directed us to...
We should trust your judgment, Matt Walsh. Jesus Christ. The same guy who made an entire video about Dylan Mulvaney and was just utterly a dick to her.
2 clips in particular from What is a Woman that they said are hateful content, and because of these segments of the film, it becomes hate speech, and they're going to restrict its reach on the platform. Now, I'm going to show you both of these clips because it's hard to believe that they're really saying this. Hard to believe, anyway, if you took their new commitment to free speech seriously. If you took that seriously, then...
Okay, I'm not opposed to providing the context here. I'm just worried that it might get, copyright, whatever. So I might have to skip it.
This will be shocking to you. In the first clip, a father in Canada tells us that he was arrested and he was fined $30,000. His crime was referring to his 14-year-old daughter as a she. The father tried to prevent doctors from pumping his daughter full of hormones.
And I have no idea if this... Oh, my God. Ugh. I have no idea if this is even true. Should I fact check this? All right, hold on.
His crime was referring to his 14-year-old daughter as a she.
All right. Canadian oh boy. Do we have any impartial? Do we have anything impartial here? Is it all just going to be the Christian Daily Wire shit? Um. I have no. Okay, what's this? Lots of activists answer. I do not know. Over two my flames. I mean, I'm willing to bite the bullet on this if it's true. If it's like everything being described here is true, but I don't know. Okay. All right. Well, let's see what's this. I don't know if it is. Okay, hold up. This is important because it'll show whether or not he's blowing smoke up my ass. Father who has been accused of repeatedly violating court orders limiting what he can say publicly about his transgender child's decision to pursue hormone treatment has been ordered to remain in jail until his trial next month. Citing publication bans designed to protect the teen's privacy and psychological well-being, the British Columbia Supreme Court Justice Michael Taman ruled Friday there was virtually certainty that if the father were to be released, the breaches would continue. In this case, we are concerned with the publication ban designed to protect the privacy and dignity of the young and vulnerable person. I am satisfied that the father's detention is necessary to maintain public confidence in the administration of justice. At one point, the father, wearing red-colored jail attire, stood up from the prisoner's dock to try to persuade a judge to release him so he can remove the offending items from the internet. Nothing it would be difficult to do so from jail. I'm just begging you to let me fix as much as I can, but the judge who had remanded the father to custody Tuesday wouldn't hear it, saying the father is being proven case of lie. The case made it to the BC Court to Appeal, which sided with the child in 2020 and reserved the right of young people to make their own health decisions. Well, I don't know if he was fined, though. That's what I want to know. Okay, they don't even... Oh, man. The judge noted that they had recently learned from the Crown of a lengthy interview his father had to a U.S.-based pro-family activist organization. That was another example of a flagrant breach of court orders that could cause his child grave harm. So it seems like this father has done shit that violated court orders, which prohibited him from being released from custody. So there are court orders that were outlined in his initial apprehension, it seems like, and a follow-up trial was to be scheduled, and he violated them in between the court dates, and this therefore resulted in him remaining in jail. Prior to the judge's decision to keep the father in custody, Professor told the Star that the best interest of the child was the only consideration in the BC's Family Law Act, and the conduct orders permit restrictions on people's behavior to ensure that those interests are looked after. What is the issue here is the conduct order and the family restriction. Imagine what were you jailed for attempting to protect your child from medical assault. Ooh. That is a highly editorialized intro. All right, I don't care anymore. Let's just get to it.
The father tried to prevent doctors from pumping his daughter full of hormones and tried to protect.
Pump that shit in my veins, baby. Woo! God, shit. Strap me down and pump that shit in me. Woo! Sorry. Dude, I'm sick of this camera.
Protect his daughter from mutilation and butchery. So
I highly doubt, by the way, like he uses scary words, but like I highly doubt that these children are getting butchered, and I highly doubt that they're getting like castrated. Is that another term they use? I don't know. It's just like a bunch of bullshit.
The Canadian government destroyed his life. And now Twitter is calling this father hateful.
I'm just getting rid of the fucking camera because apparently it can't handle anything. Sorry about this, but we gotta do it. Let's go.
And they're saying that you should hear what he has to say because of this clip, which we will play right now. Listen.
Hello?
Hey, is this...
No, I'm sorry, but I can't. I don't want to risk copyright, sorry. He described it anyway, but...
Now, what happened to the man in that clip is becoming common in Canada. Fathers are now often required in a supposedly free country to stay quiet as doctors castrate their children.
All right, so the framing here is already fucked. When you are on puberty blockers, you are not being castrated. Additionally, when you're an HRT, you are not being castrated. These are two different things. They don't actually mean the same thing. In fact, if I Google castration right now, define castration. All right, the removal of the testicles of a male animal or man. This is almost never happening among minors because such a surgery can only take place after being prescribed HRT for X amount of months or even years. Infertility is one concern that could be substantiated. However, you have to be on HRT for an extended length of time for that to be an actual concern worth considering. So the framing here of castration or mutilation or what have you is far from accurate.
And that's exactly what these off-label hormones do. They sterilize girls and women.
That is not what they do. And also he uses the term off-label because the FDA, because of shit pertaining to the FDA and its regulations to make it seem like it's more scary than it actually is.
They cause all kinds of other problems too, including early onset osteoporosis. We spoke to one person in the documentary.
Also, I don't believe that that's true. Do I care enough to fact check it though? There are some concerns regarding bone density issues with respect to the administration of GnRH analogs. However, they are seldom, if ever, administered long enough for that kind of risk to materialize. It's not a genuine concern. It's almost like the odds, like it's as much of a concern as any other drug that you take, the side effects thereof, because like every drug has a side effect, and that is just the nature of how drugs. There's no drug that doesn't have a side effect, basically. So yeah.
Who experienced some truly horrible symptoms, but according to the court system in Canada, fathers have no right to protect their daughters from any of that. They want to shut those parents up. And now, apparently, Twitter agrees with the courts in Canada.
So he is conflating two things here. The courts in Canada, those rulings that he was referencing, has little to no bearing upon Twitter's decision to label his stupid fucking documentary with hateful conduct. These are two different things. He's conflating them, though, because he wants everything to mean the same thing, so he can attack them all simultaneously, and it really opens Pandora's box for a bunch of strawmans.
By the way, that father has a sentencing hearing this week and may be on his way back to jail. Back to jail in a case that began with him simply wanting to raise his daughter as his daughter and refer to her as such.
Simply is a very loaded term here, because what do we actually mean by that? Was he being hateful towards his daughter? Was he refusing to take care of her, neglect her on account of her transition or what have you? So I'm assuming that this person was assigned female birth and they transitioned to male, if I were to guess, because Matt Walsh has a tendency of misgendering, so I'm assuming that this is actually a he. So assuming that it's a he, I don't know for sure. I could be wrong, but assuming that this person, this child, like they could have been neglected on, or like there could have been quid pro quo, like, so there's a bunch of shit that is being omitted here by Matt Walsh that I think could change the calculus. I didn't find that in the article I read, but to be fair, the article was simply only referring to the it seemed like it was an update to the court itself, that the whatever. But yeah, I mean, like, there's certainly circumstances, and obviously Matt Walsh agrees that people should be allowed, the parents rather, should be allowed to misgender and treat their child horribly if they want to transition. I think that there absolutely should be some consequences for that if you are a parent, because if you threaten to withhold care for your child or treat them like dog shit, that should be as bad as child abuse, as far as I'm concerned.
Began with a father not wanting his daughter to be sterilized. It takes a special kind of company to want to partner with my show. I say a lot of things that make a lot of people angry, and this tends
Cool.
Twitter is doing here. They're not even accusing me of hate speech, right? They're actually accusing this father, a man who's already been arrested.
So again, let's keep our eye on the ball here. He is trying to conflate What is a Woman, the documentary that is being labeled hateful content and deprioritizing the algorithm because it is transphobic, to this. It's such a weird like reach here, because he's trying to conflate that with this court case in Canada. The goal of which I can only presume to be that he wants to make everything mean the same thing as far as violations of free speech is concerned, to attack Twitter on this. Like, he's suggesting that the degree to which his documentary is being deprioritized, mind you, not even removed in the algorithm on the platform, that is on the same level of a man being incarcerated for treating his daughter like shit, or his child like shit, for being trans.
Arrested, tried, jailed, had his life destroyed.
And none of those things happened to you, Matt Walsh.
They're accusing him of committing hate speech against his own daughter simply because he acknowledges that she is a girl.
Okay, what source do you have to back this up? Because right now he is accusing Twitter of making those allegations, and I have yet to see that happen.
Now, that was one clip. There's another clip that Twitter objected to as well. This clip features the aforementioned shop owner, Vietnam War veteran, who used biologically accurate pronouns in response to a trans activist who was accosting him in his store. And here's what that hateful content looks like.
Okay, maybe I will show it.
A little while ago that went really viral online. Lots of reaction in the public.
Aberdeen Councilwoman Tiesa Meskies confronted owner Don Suker about a sign he posted.
Wait, hold on. What's he say? If you are born with a... You are not a chick? Okay, so I'm assuming that's dick. So if you are born with a dick, you are not a chick. If you're a trans woman, I would probably be upset about this too, yeah.
Posted in his store.
One day I just put the sign up over here, and he came around the corner, and I thought, okay.
By the way, they're misgendering here, and that's part of the hateful content that Twitter is wanting to crack down on.
I recognize him. I says, oh, I recognize you. You're our new city councilman. He says, no, I'm your new city councilwoman. So it was kind of on from there.
You know what? It's
No, what you're spouting is
no, it's not. Trans women are women, sir. That sign is...
Uh-oh.
I've been doing this 25 years. I've never had a problem with anybody, whether they're gay, transsexual, anything.
Now, you're saying councilman, this individual was saying, I'm a woman.
Right.
And you said you're not a woman. How do you know that person's not a woman?
How do I know?
Yeah.
Well, common sense.
Dude, it's funny that fucking Matt Walsh will be like, I ask everybody, what's a woman? And these woke liberals can never give me an answer. But then, like, this motherfucker's just like, oh, it's common sense, and he just swallows it like a fucking pelican.
Trans women are women!
Doesn't the science say that if someone identifies as a woman, then they are?
No, no. Now that's completely bogus. I don't care if you think you're a sheepdog and you come into my store. It don't matter to me. Just don't come in and try to shove that down my throat.
This was, by the way, they're framing this as though the woman came in there and he framed it as being, this shop owner was being accosted. When the sign that he put up was, offensive if I were a trans woman, in addition to him saying that she wasn't, or misgendered her and said that she was a councilman. So, if anything, this trans person was accosted on account of this man or this shop owner, by virtue of the sign being present, as well as him misgendering this woman.
If it makes someone feel better, what about their feelings?
I don't give a shit about their feelings.
Dude, the party of love in Christ coming to fruition here. I'm loving it.
I'm old.
What about in the Star Wars universe? Jar Jar Binks, pansexual, do you think? Transgender?
Dude, who cares? Honestly, who cares? Like, who brings this up, dude? What? Is this like an actual talking point? He's, like, amongst trans people? What?
Why would I even care?
That's like my reaction, too. Jeez.
It's truth.
And it's funny, because, like, again, the framing here is obviously that, like, they're trying to transsexualize every single person in society, including the characters that you have known and beloved for generations. Of course, this is fear-mongering, but, yeah.
Well, it ain't true.
You're not a scientist. You're not a gender studies major. Or are you?
No.
No? Okay. How do you know that you're a man?
How do I know that I'm? I guess because I got it.
Well, I guess Don isn't overthinking it. He admits he's not a gender studies major. Or at the very least, a doctor.
Okay.
Now, not that this really matters, but how many Americans in this country do you think agree with that store owner? If you ran a poll and said, can men transform into women in an instant, what results do you think you'd get? Now,
oh, let's look that up. I'm actually curious. Is that even a thing? Poll of who trans people exist. Because if you believe trans people exist, then obviously you believe in the idea of transitioning. Transgender rights is different from what I'm asking. Let's see. Let's look up that. And then American Power. This is from Pew. Rising share of Americans say gender determined by birth assigned sex poll finds. Okay. How many, though? I'm just curious. A majority of Americans favor protecting transgender people from discrimination, but a rising share say... Wait, when was this, by the way? Last year? Okay. And most support trans sportsmen. The survey of more than 10,000 adults, which was conducted May 12th, or May 16th or 22nd and published Tuesday, found that 60% say a person's gender is determined at birth, up from 50. This is it's a little surprising, not gonna lie. Views on gender identity differ of groups, of course, because Democrats, younger people, etc., so forth. Most favor protecting trans people from discrimination, even as growing share say sex determination sex person. Okay. Yeah, I think that, like, decoupling sex and gender and introducing a bimodal understanding of gender itself is going to be a little challenging, because it's kind of like it's a little bit of a complicated esoteric topic. So I guess that makes sense. I don't know. Whatever.
Now, I asked a poll that says, can men become women? That's the question.
Wait, hold on. He made a poll. Where did he publish this poll to? If it was to Twitter and his YouTube account, then odds are many of the people who participated in such a poll were conservative. So obviously, overwhelmingly, you're going to say, like, no, you can't transition.
Poll that asks, do you believe in gender-affirming care?
What's that? That's such a weird question, by the way. Do you believe in this medical practice? Like, what? Yeah, it happens, sure.
Would most people have no idea what that means?
I think the only people who don't know what that means is you and people like conservatives, right? Gender affirming care is pretty straightforward. Like, it's just gender affirming care. This can include the administration of puberty blockers, hormone replacement therapy. Like, it's not really complicated if you take 2 seconds to think about it.
If you phrase it simply to people so they understand the question.
But you framed it in a weird way. You said, do you believe in it? What do you mean by believe it? It's a thing that is existence, yeah.
Well, what kind of results do you think you get?
Also, keep in mind, and I want to reiterate this, the poll, I don't know where he put this poll up, but if it was on thedailywire.com, if it was on Twitter, odds are many of whom are going to say, no, we don't believe in gender-affirming care, because a lot of his audience is conservative. What a absolutely insane thing to defer to. It's like saying, hey guys, I found a couple people on the street in like rural Texas, and I asked them, do you believe in gender affirming care? And they said no. What the fuck? Like, yeah, no shit. Most of them are probably conservative.
Of course, most people would agree with the store owner. The only difference is that most Americans are too afraid to be honest about it because of exactly what happened to that store owner. Store owner was not honest, was not afraid to be honest.
Ah, yes, it is the trans people and the allies of the trans movement that is scaring the American public, and definitely they are the ones who are engaging in stochastic terrorism.
So a mob of activists tried to ruin his life. And now Twitter is once again trying to silence him, and I have to continue to...
Again, I don't know why he's conflating these two things. The store owner... Okay, first off, wait, his first conflation was with the person from Canada, but now his conflation is with the store owner. He's conflating Twitter deprioritizing his documentary with the store owner. These are completely incomparable situations.
Emphasize what makes this so egregious is that it's not simply speech, okay? It's not that the Star Wars shop owner, Don Zucker, it's not that that he was just giving his opinion about something. This is not his opinion. It's bad enough to silence people who are giving their opinions. We should have a society and we should have big tech platforms where you can have an opinion, you can have any opinion about anything, and you can voice that opinion. If other people don't like it, they can voice their opinions, and then you have a debate about it. That's
not just about that though, right? Because he was being disrespectful to that councilwoman. He misgendered her, and that is disrespectful. You can say, well, I'm just calling them what they actually are. But even if that were the case, even if you truly believed that trans women cannot be women, why would you still, in spite of that, choose to be disrespectful to their face? It doesn't make sense, right? If you are a compassionate human, one would think that in spite of the differences you have with respect to their identity, that you would still choose to refer to them as the pronouns they desire.
The way it's supposed to work in a free society. But my point is that this is not his opinion. This is just the truth. And so, yes, they're suppressing free speech, but more importantly, they are suppressing the truth.
So this is what I mean when I like at near the beginning of this video, right? Because it's not about free speech. It's about him having the right to broadcast transphobia to a large audience. Unfiltered, with no trigger warning, no anything, right?
Now, we reached out to Twitter about their objection to these clips. We've had extensive conversations with them, in fact, behind the scenes about this. So that's the other thing you need to know, is that on Twitter's end, this is not some algorithmic glitch, okay? This is a very intentional decision on their part. When they told us that they're going to suppress it and label it hate speech, this was a decision that was made. We know that because we talked to them. And when we talked to them, they said that it violates their misgendering policy. Now, we asked them, didn't Twitter remove its misgendering policy? Because it was a misnomer. You know, misgendering just means you're correctly gendering someone.
Oh my God. What the fuck, man? They are really deep down the rabbit hole. Jesus Christ. Holy shit, dude. So the concept... Wait, hold on. So the concept of misgendering is literally non-existent. Because according to him, it's a misnomer. Misgendering is really just correcting the record. So in his logical, framework, you can't be rude because all you're doing is correct. Wait, even that wouldn't make sense though, because you can be an asshole while also being correct. You can be unsympathetic while being correct. So being sympathetic and being respectful to people is secondary to, I guess, telling the truth. Well, telling the truth, first off, the truth here, really, to him, is that trans women cannot be women, right? Or trans men cannot be men. That's his truth, right? Of course, this is nonsensical, but even if we adopted that framework, why, and I say this again, why would you choose to be an asshole, though? Even if you didn't think trans women could be women or trans men could be, why would you still, therefore, to choose to be an asshole and be like, I'm just calling it how I see it, bruh?
Didn't they allow Twitter users to once again refer to others with accurate pronouns instead of inaccurate ones? They did take that language off of their policy. That happened recently. But Twitter told us that actually misgendering is still considered abuse and harassment on the platform, and they just don't specify it anymore.
Cool.
So they asked us to edit our film to comply with this new rule, this new unspoken rule against using accurate pronouns, and of course we refused. We're not going to do that. I mean, obviously we're not going to do that. Which means that the Daily Wire is still going to distribute What is a Woman tonight, starting at 8 p.m. Eastern. We're going to make it available on Twitter for everyone to see for free. It's going to stream tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern. It'll be available thereafter for 24 hours. Whether Twitter will let you see it or not, that's what remains unclear.
What are you talking about? It's still going to be there. It's just not going to be prioritized in the algorithm. So if they go to your, profile, and if you're broadcasting it, then yeah, it's going to be there. Like, he's like acting like they're literally going to take it down or something. Which maybe it would, because, well, it could get taken down on account of like people reporting it or something, but like that's, at that point it's not really Twitter, it's more so the people reporting it.
You know, whether they actually tag it with the hate speech label and suppress it, that's the part that we're going to find out.
Dude, who cares? Like, they already told you up front that they were going to do that, so I don't know why you're acting surprised.
This is a documentary that more than a year after its release is still being suppressed. I mean, think about that. A year...
Hey, guys, do you notice the incoherence here? Because I just realized something. This fucker is like, they keep suppressing me, grrr, and then at the same time, he's also saying that this is one of the most revolutionary, successful documentaries of the century. Notice the incoherence here. On one hand, it's the greatest thing ever of the century, and on the other hand, it's the most suppressed thing of all time.
Later, and they are still suppressing it. They are still terrified of this movie. They do not want you to see it.
Who is they?
The reason for that is obvious. They know that it's effective. They know that they can't answer even the most basic questions about their ideology.
Well, I believe that if anybody were to be asked this question, if I don't know who, let's just say progressive, I'm assuming that they're probably just going to say somebody who identifies as a woman. So that would be an answer to the question. And he always implies that people don't answer the question when there are probably answers provided that he just disagrees with.
And that's the reason that sane people aren't calling for, bans on trans activists by the
sane people. Note again the framing here. We are the insane people here, apparently. Progressives are, or trans people. They are insane because they are trans. This is the implication behind his words.
Way, we're not returning the favor. When Elon Musk took over Twitter, we weren't saying ban all the trans activists. We're not trying to kick them off of the platforms and silence them. On the contrary, we want to debate them. We want them to...
Hey guys, remember, now he's backing up to I just want to have the opportunity to debate these trans people and their activists. I just want to have free speech, baby.
Speak. We want them to be able to speak. We want us to...
But then in the other breath, he's like, I'm being silenced because of, I'm trying to speak the truth. They're silencing the truth.
To speak. We want you to hear the contrast. In fact, that's one of the great ironies of this whole thing. Twitter's attempt to suppress us, all the other censorship that we faced. What makes it so ironic is that for most of the film, we allow the trans activist side to speak.
And you chose to pick people represented in the film that looked the dumbest. You probably chose the worst prepared responses from anybody who was asked the question, what is a woman? And anybody who you asked, what is a woman, that gave you an answer that was not like running away or like actually providing an answer, you probably cut that shit from the film. Yeah, I will, I would like to be proven wrong if you personally, Matt Walsh, donate to me all the cut footage of What is a Woman.
They're constantly complaining, let us speak, let our voices be heard.
I don't hear that anywhere, actually. I literally don't hear that anywhere. That is like the most, that is the main thing people in the trans community are saying, are really more so discussing their personal experiences in everyday life, as well as obviously all the trans bills that's going around, anti-trans bills. But most trans people just talk about their own lives and shit. Like, they just, like, their own interests or whatever. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's different on Twitter.
And this movie is us saying, okay, here you go. Hey, the stage is yours. Let's hear your side.
And yet again, dude, there's just no shot that this fucker, it was like, okay, I'm going to go into this movie with an open mind, and I'm going to have them lay out their arguments, and I'm going to assess the premises and make sure that it is logically sound. No fucking shot, my dude. The way the film is framed, based on the very little that I saw, was obviously implying that these people are raving lunatics who are... And by the way, he already gave it away a little bit. It slipped a little bit earlier when he implied that these people, trans people, are insane. So there's no shot that he came into this movie with like an open mind and like just wanted to have an open debate about this. Even the title of the film is duplicit, and as far as I can see.
Most of the movie consists of them speaking. We give them the floor. We give them the camera and the microphone because we want people to hear them. We want their ideology to be fully exposed.
See, it's like, he's actually not in, he's not interested. See, right there, that just gave it away. He's not interested in the legitimacy of the argument. He already knows in his mind, I want them to sound like fucking idiots. So that is the main purpose behind giving them the platform, quote unquote. And I am willing to bet my left fucking nut that he cut out any people who provided a sufficient enough answer to the question, what is a woman?
And if that ideology is going to hang, we want it to hang itself. And we want you to see it hanging itself, and it did.
That is a really weird metaphor to employ. Very bizarre.
And that's the main reason why they hate this movie so much. Because we didn't go around arguing with them and yelling at them. We just asked them questions and said, here you go, tell us all about your position. And they humiliated themselves.
So yes, again, this is the goal of the film. And he was a couple sentences ago framing it as though it is a documentary for all. It is for everybody to have a stage. Here's the stage, boys. Let's hear your arguments. No, that wasn't the goal of the film. The goal of the film was to be transphobic and to imply that the gender ideology is incoherent and really make the trans ideology, quote unquote, hang itself. That was the goal of the film. It wasn't to have an open debate. It wasn't to listen to the arguments. It was simply it was a borderline propaganda piece against trans people.
All the supposed experts, the doctors, all these people that were told, trust the experts. Well, we went to the experts. We put cameras in front of their faces.
Well, trust the experts is usually employed when we're talking about climate change and like other shit like that's more in the hard sciences, because conservatives incidentally are also anti-science. So when we talk about trust the experts, that's more so what we're talking about. We're not really talking about like gender study majors or whatever fucking else you're referring to.
And we said, okay, experts, give us your spiel. And they came off like idiots and maniacs. That's not our fault. That's on them. If Twitter's ever going to be a free speech platform, which Elon Musk says he badly wants it to be, then these people cannot be allowed to suppress speech.
They're not the ones suppressing the speech, dog. It's Twitter. Wait, hold on. Twitter specifically said they are not going to they're not going to promote hateful content. Upon reviewing your film, they determined, yes, there is hateful content in it, and this includes misgendering. So you're not being suppressed by these woke activists. It's people at Twitter. Unless you're conflating the two, once again, which you seem to like to do, that Twitter is actually a secret cabal of trans activists or whatever.
Twitter likes to throw out the freedom of speech is not freedom of reach argument, but that's a cowardly dodge.
Yeah, because again, he wants his ideology to propagate to the depths of the Mariana. He wants it to go as far as it possibly can. So obviously, if you're going to be transphobic, there's a lot of platforms that prohibit you from being transphobic. Not all of them, but a lot of them. And the ones with, like Twitter, for example, I think a lot of conservatives were looking forward to Elon being the CEO because he was about to allow them to go unfettered with their bigotry. And Lord and behold, they're learning now that Elon is a hypocrite when it comes to free speech.
It's no different than Idi Amin's famous quote, "There's freedom of speech," he said, "but I can't guarantee freedom after speech." Now, there's still time for Twitter to reverse its decision. If it wants to be a free speech platform, it must reverse this decision. This is a time for choosing.
This is not the thing that will make or break whether or not Twitter is free speech, because Twitter was never like completely free speech, you know? They already had restrictions.
Twitter has to pick a side. Everyone has to pick a side. Either you are fully on the side of sanity and freedom and common sense.
Look at how he's framing it. You're either on the very good side, which is the side I'm on, or you're on the very bad side, which is the woke activists. Amazing.
Or you are against it. You got to choose. It is one or the other. There's no middle ground. One or the other. It's always been that way.
Wait, there absolutely is a middle ground, by the way, because there are certain... You can be pro-free speech, but have certain limitations on some things. Like having hateful content, yeah, that's probably not a good thing to have on your platform. Or limit it at the very least. You don't even have to get rid of it. Just like deprioritize it. Like I've mentioned before, child porn, obviously that should be banned. Spam, malware, all that shit, yeah, definitely ban that shit. They are a private company within their own right, obviously, to deprioritize your documentary. But not even withstanding that, it's not even like anti-free speech to deprioritize this man's documentary. Because first off, it's still on the platform. But second off, there are stipulations that everybody agrees to via the TOS when they create an account. So you can't get mad that Twitter not even is removing your shit, but it's just deprioritizing it. You can't get mad at that, and you certainly can't claim that's not free speech.
No, as for us, in the meantime, no matter what happens, we are not going to self-censor, and we are definitely not going to bow to the censors in Silicon Valley. We hope you'll watch the film tonight at 8 p.m., introduce it to as...
Alrighty, I think we belabored the point enough. Hopefully my Logitech is good. Gucci, maybe, probably not. Oh. Anyway, is that all? Got any new fucking things? What the fuck is this? What? Alright, I'm getting annoyed by these people. Dude, what the fuck? Oh shit. Okay, sorry about that. Well, that was quite the vid. I am maybe I don't know, maybe I'll watch it. I can't watch it on stream, but yeah, this Pride Month is gonna be rough, only because conservatives are psychotic Yeah. Well, wait, what is this? What the fuck? Sorry, hold on. What is this simping from this person? Look at this shit. Maybe he's too busy. Oh my god. Dude, there's something wrong with these people. Like, I don't know. Um... Yeah. I don't know what else there is. That took a while, though. Dude, why do they keep replying? Oh, I should probably mute it. There was something I did want to watch, actually. Wait, what's this? Hold on.
To the queer section of Target, and it's actually worse than I ever imagined. The tuck-friendly construction is alive and well. As you can see, they have a full selection, so clearly it's not doing too well. But this is just out of control. I mean, really? Really? And if you thought the queer
Sorry, hold on.
section was bad, just come on over to the card section. We're looking in the baby aisle. You'll be such amazing moms. 2 dads. There are more cards congratulating 2 same-sex parents than there are regular male-female parents.
It's the pride section. Obviously, they're gonna have cards, more of them, for gay dads and moms. Oh my god! It's too fucking stupid! Oh, holy shit. Oh, I need a break. I need another vacation. What the fuck?
And then we head over to the wedding section. Hers and hers. Mrs. and Mrs. I mean, this is completely out of control.
It's the pride section. No fucking shit. God, what a... Holy shit, dude. Dude, anybody got Xanax? Okay. I don't know how I can do that, like, day in, day out. Thank God I have other hobbies. I don't make this shit my whole life. Oh my god. I would be honestly so miserable if I let this, like, consume me. Oh, shit. These guys must live a miserable life, making their intolerance of minority groups their entire identity. Which is ironic given the fact that they claim trans people make their identity, like, their gender, their whole identity. Them being trans. Wait, hold on, what's this now? My dog is looking at me funny. Where's this at? Isn't this the second time he's fallen? Or the third time? He fell off his bike, too. The guy's old. I mean, what do you expect? He needs a fucking, what do you call it? Yeah, he needs that one, like a cane or something. Dude, do you guys see, like, the fucking... Who was that chick who was running, like, again? She was, like, 80 years old or something. Was it Diane Feinstein? Oh my god, was it her? Dude, this bitch was born in 1933? Where's that picture? I was like, oh yeah, it's this, I think it's this one. Oh no. We got paywalled. I need a picture, bruh. She's running for re-election. Oh, news. They said she won't run for re-election? Oh. Then why were people freaking out? Maybe it's not her. Who was I thinking about? I'm gonna have to dig into my thing and look for it. Hold on 1 second. And you're gonna just put up with the camera because it sucks. Why the fuck is that? Probably down here. Let's see. This is gonna be pretty far down. Dude, why can't I find this? That's... Huh. I didn't think it was this far down. Alright, I stopped caring. Anyway. I don't know if it's the same person, though. It might be. Looks like it is. Oh, yeah. Oh, shit. Hold on. Excuse me. What is, Yeah, I saw this. Well, I didn't watch it, but I highlighted it, or bookmarked it, because I wanted to see it.
Mr. Kami, a lot of people are confused about the tweet storm. I call it the tweet heard around the world. A couple of tweets were put up in support of Roger Waters and then taken down. Do you want to give us a little explanation of why they were taken down and also your stance on Israel and Palestine?
Yeah, so Roger Waters is not good on Israel, Palestine. I don't think he is. Or he supports Palestine, so that's good. But I don't know.
I tweeted that. I made the tweet applauding Roger Waters.
What's wrong with his voice? Is he okay? I'm actually concerned. Sounds like he's choking.
Courage in opposing the COVID mandates and the Ukraine war. I was unaware of his position on Israel. And when I learned that, I immediately took it down. My position of Israel is that I support Israel. My family has a long relationship with Israel. I support its right to exist and its right to protect its security.
And the Palestinians?
and a humane outcome and a recognition ultimately of the aspirations of the Palestinian people is important for everybody.
I mean, this is as good of a response as you can get, honestly, because, like, many U.S. politicians have to kowtow to Israel, unfortunately. Even, like, progressives, kind of. Like, I think AOC is what, like, yeah, I mean, like, pretty, like, progressive people in Congress still have to kowtow to Israel. It's unfortunate. I mean, it is what it is, right? You possibly cannot expect somebody to, go hard in the paint against Israel and expect to, turn out a high... get a high turnout if you're running for whatever office. Israel-Palestine is a litmus test for so many because understanding that issue requires you to understand the struggle of class, race, and imperial... Well, not really. You can understand all of those things irrespective of Israel-Palestine. You can say everything else right, but getting this wrong means you really don't get it. Okay. Oh, what would be a right answer? I'm actually interested. There is no just outcome in Israel that doesn't involve all citizens of the region to have equal rights and equitable claim to the land. And until the state of Israel respects Palestine's right, to exist as much as they expect the rest of the world to respect their right to exist, the U.S. cannot and must not continue to legitimize them via military. Dude, can you imagine if they said this shit? That isn't the right answer. What are you talking about, bro? If he said that, that shit would be circulating around the entire United States, man. The entire fucking media apparatus would destroy you. You would have no shot. There's already no shot RFK Jr. is going to make the nomination, but even worse of a shot if you say this shit. You're not going to continue to legitimize them through military, financial, and any other type of international aid? No shot, man. Why would you expect... Do you really expect these other versions of an answer to involve calling out Israel's war crimes? There is no version of that would ever take place among U.S. politicians. Not a single one. Every single one would kowtow to Israel. You have to. If you want good turnout as a Democrat, you kowtow to Israel. It sucks, but politically it is advantageous to do so. This is what I'm saying, dude. AIPAC is very powerful, and then that's another thing too. AIPAC, they found a bunch of these Democratic nominees. It's not really like a high priority issue among Americans in general. So like shit, Wait, I just saw something kind of dumb, and I need to go back to it. Am I gonna find it though? Oh yeah, the Supreme Court ruled in favor of a concrete company that wanted to sue a union because the strike cost them money. The 8-1 decision means the company can sue the union over a strike where truck drivers left wet concrete in their trucks. So that's nice. Man, that's great. She also urges that the court is putting the onus on workers and their union here, where it's actually incumbent on Glacier, the company, to take steps to negotiate with the union to mitigate the losses. So, yeah, that's great. That's a great precedent. Great. Oh, this shit. This is elder abuse. What? What's elder abuse? Him falling? Joe Biden can no longer walk on his own. Dude, the motherfucker is old. He's gonna trip sometimes. He belongs in a nursing home. Oh my god. But the DNC doesn't care? What are you talking... Dude, what's this bitch talking about? What the fuck? They will prop him up for as long as they can because he's the perfect puppet to continue their corporate agenda. Dude, what the fuck? He has no idea what he's talking about. Like, head empty. They could prop up any fucking person in the establishment. Biden happens to be the one this time around because he was the more electable candidate. He was the candidate that the DNC decided to throw their weight behind. Their goal, the DNC's goal, the primary thing they are concerned about is getting a person who can beat a Republican, prevent any Republican presidencies. But, like, the fact that they're doing it because he is a perfect puppet to continue their corporate agenda is ridiculous, even if I operate within Ryan Knight's own framework. Anybody can continue their corporate agenda. It doesn't have to be Biden. Arguably, Pete Buttigieg is a better fit for the corporate agenda. Amy Klobuchar, even. You know, there's people out there. This is a little bit of a contradiction as well. If he really belongs in a nursing home, how would he then the bar or the standard for continuing their corporate agenda, the DNC's, must be pretty low. So therefore, you could just probably put anybody up there. Like, seriously, these people, I swear to God, it's always the hammer and sickles too, say the most retarded shit day in and day out. It's actually impressive. Huh. Well, I don't know. Is there anything else to talk about?
And pulling rickshaws pretty soon.
What shit is this?
As far as the boycotts go, I have an easy solution. They should have come to me first, because all you got to do is bring in AOC.
Wait, yeah, what the fuck's going on with Chick-fil-A?
And have her boycott your...
I should probably get the context behind that first. Chick-fil-A. What's going on? News? Is that even an option? No. Oh shit, sorry, hold on. Newsweek? Okay, these were all bad sources, but we'll just go with it. Chick-fil-A's woke pledge to embed diversity in everything we do resurfaces online, angering fans of the Christian-founded chain after Bud Light targets LGBTQ scandals. Oh. Some conservatives are calling for a boycott of Chick-fil-A after news the company has hired a vice president of diversity equity. Wait, that's it? That's all they did? They hired a VP of diversity, equity, and inclusion? That's enough to get these bottom-feeding scum to piss and shit themselves? That? I thought they were gonna have, like, pride shit or whatever, something like that. Chick-fil-A's DEI posts resurfaced after companies such as LA came under attack. Some companies are calling for a boycott of Chick-fil-A after the news company hired a president and resurfaced more file. Americans favor fast food chain, which has historically been praised by conservatives for strong religious roots and values, is the next company to receive backlash for their effort to be more inclusive. Who has been with the company since 2020, but the news suddenly resurfaced that spread online. Dude, I swear, man, what a clown fucking universe we live. I said it before, but I really mean it. Alright, I get it now. Alright, what's up?
Company. And our sales, when she did that to us, she was eating her own. Our sales went through the roof. But seriously, and we made her...
Oh, this is the Goya guy. The like CEO of Goya or whatever.
Honorary Employee of the Year for boosting our sales and coming after... for for donating 4.5 million pounds of food, working with the Obamas, working with President Trump, and saying we were blessed. I used the word blessed, and that pissed everybody off. But
wait, who was pissed off by this? Who? He said everybody, right?
That pissed everybody off. Okay. But more importantly, this isn't about boycotts. As Kurt Schilling said, and God bless his son, and Semper Fi. As Kurt said,
Semper Fi.
We are in a war. What I'm saying is we are in a war of good versus evil.
Oh my fucking God. Just because you're accepting of trans people, that's evil.
Good versus wokeness, greed, pride. Pride is a sin. Indulgence is a...
What? Oh my God, I gotta lay down, dude. I got shit. I got animals to feed. Watch this, and then I think we'll be done.
The sin. I've seen the video on the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence. It's horrific. It's a war against...
Is it really, though? Is it actually horrific?
It's a cancel culture. A war against the family, against the child. We are exploiting, abusing our children. And there's no age...
Wait, how are we doing that? Wait, who's we? First off. Second off, isn't it conservatives who always get behind child marriages and exploiting children for sexual gratification? As well as, mind you, the Catholic Church, who are found to relentlessly go after and molest altar boys and girls and so forth.
Age limit. When you don't respect life in the womb, you're not going to respect it out of the womb. There is no line. It's not a blurred line. They've taken away...
That's... I don't even know why I'm going to entertain this logic, but that's not true. You could respect life in the womb by bringing life to the world, but treat that life like shit. And if they're transgender, that's one example. Or if they're black, I mean, that's one example, right?
Way the line. We're not respecting life.
How do corporations avoid this, Bob? Do you have to have a mission statement that's ironclad? Is it a board of directors thing? Like, how does this stuff sneak in? How do you arm yourself
how does it
against
sneak in? All these big companies are run by investment funds.
Oh my God! No way! Okay, I could be reading into it, but that's totally a JQ dog whistle. They're run by investment firms. That's how they're sneaking this into corporations. Okay.
The Black Rocks.
It's the Jews. It's always the Jews, man. Jesus Christ.
One of the biggest investors in Target is BlackRock. They have...
Wait, hold on 1 second. BlackRock? Okay, if I look it up, I swear to God, I'm about to like walk out here. If I look up BlackRock and it's run by a Jewish company or it's funded heavily by Jews, then I'm just gonna quit. BlackRock. What is it? If I find out it is run or founded by Jews, then I'm gonna kill myself. American multinational investment company based in New York City, founded in 1988, initially as an enterprise risk management and fixed income institutional asset manager. BlackRock is the world's largest asset manager in assets under management. BlackRock's open globally. BlackRock has sought positions itself as an industry, environmental... No shot. BlackRock has been under the subject of conspiracy theories, including the conspiracy theory that BlackRock owns both Fox News and Dominion voting systems, with Snopes described as false. And PolitiFact described as mostly false. Some BlackRock conspiracy theories have also incorporated anti-Semitism, such as the conspiracy theory that Jewish people, including BlackRock founder... Holy shit, I just drained, like, a fucking half-court shot. Like... Oh my God, it's always the Jews! It always comes back to the Jews! This fucking... This motherfucker here just sneakily put it in here. My suspicions were correct.
Bob, do you have to have a mission statement? How do corporations avoid this?
Yeah, how do these corporations avoid the woke mind virus that infects these corporations?
Bob, do you have to have a mission statement that's ironclad? Is it a board of directors thing? Like, how does this stuff sneak in? How do you arm yourself against?
Yeah, how do you prevent the woke mind virus, Bob?
All these big companies are run by investment funds. The Black Rocks, one of the big...
I'm sorry, but I can't believe it. I really can't. I honestly can't. It's like... if you're not like into this shit, right? Like if you're just watching this as like some other American conservative or whatever, like you're that's gonna slip your mind. Probably it'll slip a lot of people's mind. But like Jesus Christ, they can't help themselves with being anti-Semitic.
Biggest investors in Target is BlackRock.
Of course,
they have their agenda. They're not firing their president. Laura Ingraham, almost 3 years ago, asked me if I was going to...
They have their agenda. The Jews have the agenda to trans all of America and incorporate pride in every store that you shop at.
...to apologize. I said, hell no. You know, you apologize and then you're fired. You got to have cojones, all right? We'll translate that later. What? You have to have cojones. You have to have courage.
Just say you have courage. Yeah. What? Okay.
And they're run by these corporate funds, these investment funds
that
have no agenda except to bring in wokeness, with another word for communism.
Oh my yes! Oh my God! It's everything comes back to the Jews. It's always the Jews. Damn, I didn't know they were that powerful. Shit, they're facilitating, they're orchestrating all of this shit. Damn, okay. By the way, this is the largest news program in the entire country, Fox News.
They don't give a crap about the people. You know, they don't...
It's Wait, what did he say was communism, by the way?
We'll translate that later. You have to have cojones. You have to have courage. And they're run by these corporate funds, these investment funds that have no agenda except to bring in wokeness, with another word for communism.
Wokeness also means communism. Got it.
They don't give a crap about the people.
And that's investment firms are doing this? That's what... Okay. Yeah, pretty fucking crazy. Jesus Christ. I will admit, I was not expecting that. I'm so glad I experienced it. Okay, alright. Anything else? Any last memes that we want to touch on? Probably. Oh, shit. Alright, do I have to school this bitch? Already I didn't admit in court that their partners are sanctioned and administered by government. They cannot be held in prison. What the fuck are you talking about? Alright, I don't care. Shit. Alright. I don't know. Is there anything else? Anything other last minute thing you want to watch? I hate this. Alright, I think we're good. I think we're Gucci. It's gonna be about 2-hour mark anyway. I guess we'll end on this, because it's the last thing I'm going to look at. Guys, it's the same joke year in, year out. It's one joke. It's one joke, baby! I didn't even read it, by the way. I just saw like the first couple words. Happy normal month in which you celebrate tradition. It's the same joke. It's the peak, the pinnacle, the apotheosis of conservative humor is founded in this specific tweet. Nice. All right, guys. Well, it's been fun. I'll see you guys on Saturday, and hopefully my camera will be stopped sputtering up to that point. But yeah, have an amazing rest of your day, and I will see you guys Saturday.